I have to say that Zin's acting skills are very good. If it wasn't for Takehiko, who knew what kind of person he was, it would be easy to be deceived by his smiling and friendly appearance. Although disgusted in his heart, he still braced him and did a good job on the surface, so he smiled and said, "Mr. Su is too polite. You are coming to Japan. I was going to meet at the airport in person, and then arrange the hotel for you. Staying here, I didn't expect to encounter so many things." Zin hurriedly said, "Where is it? Mr. Ito doesn't have to be so polite. The friendship between our Su family and the Ito family has a long history. We will definitely continue to strengthen cooperation and deepen our relationship in the future. Why should we be stuck with this little thing?" Seeing his hypocritical appearance, Ito wanted to vomit the breakfast in his stomach, but he could only nod his head and said in agreement, "Mr. Su is right. You really don't have to be too rigid." Zin nodded in satisfaction, and said seriously, "Mr. Ito, although the things that happened in Tokyo in the past 2 days are chaotic and even hurt you seriously, I still have to say something about the facts. This series of things after the dust settles, the Ito family is the biggest winner." Takehiko knows what Zin's words mean. He knows that in addition to explaining the facts, Zin also wants to mention him. Now his family is fighting between snipes and clams, and the fisherman is profiting, and he is pushing his family to profit from it. He is Zin. In other words, Zin also reminded him, "Don't forget the help that Su family gave to you." However, Ito doesn't want to owe such favors casually. After all, the reason why the Ito family can survive this dispute is not really dependent on Zin, but Charlie. Don't say that he didn't rely on Zin. Zin's son and daughter can survive, and he must thank Charlie. If Charlie hadn't saved Jufei and Ziyu, and Zin guarded the corpses of a pair of children, it might not have been able to find out the real murderer. Therefore, Takehiko couldn't help but sighed, "Oh, Mr. Su, it is very dangerous for the Ito family to survive this time." As he said, he patted the roots of his thighs and sighed, "Look at my legs, they are completely abolished. If it wasn't for my loyal servant Tanaka who pushed me to jump off the viaduct, I would have been knifed. Hacked to death." In this remark, Takehiko actually explained a point to Zin first. First of all, if he can survive, it has nothing to do with your Su family. Immediately afterwards, Takehiko said again, "And my daughter, she also suffered a ninja ambush in Kyoto, and was fortunate to be saved by a master, so she was spared. Otherwise, I would really want a white-haired person to send a black-haired person." Speaking of this, Takehiko pretended to be curious and asked, "By the way, Mr. Su, it seems that your children were also saved by the mysterious master in Kyoto?" Zin's expression became a little depressed when he heard this. What he meant just now was to mention Takehiko. To have the last laugh, and kill Maki Takahashi and Ryoto Matsumoto. More than half of the credit is due to that master's help. Unexpectedly, the old fox, Takehiko Ito, came directly to say something like this. The meaning is also very simple. Don't say I want to thank you, it doesn't exist. We both have to thank the mysterious master, otherwise my daughter would have finished. Both your son and daughter would have finished. Although Zin was depressed, he couldn't refute Ito's words. After all, his son and daughter were indeed saved by that mysterious man. He also asked his son and daughter specifically, "Who is that mysterious person? Now that he has such a powerful ability, can he be used by him?" But Ziyu told him that the mysterious person was very dismissive of the brother and sister. It was to help Takehiko Ito's daughter, Nanako, to relieve the troubles, so he chased them all the way. Rescue brother and sister, that was just by the way. The only clue they know is that he should be Chinese. But don't know anything in more detail. Originally, Zin wanted Ruoli to leave to check the clues and details of that person. But now the TMPD, Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Homeland Security Department all want to capture his subordinates. So he could only give up this idea and let Ruoli return home first, so as not to be caught here. Once caught by the Japanese government, it will be as serious as the killing of the door. Even if she is not sentenced to death, it will be at least life imprisonment, so he won't think about it in this life. So Zin could only give up temporarily. Now he heard Ito mention that person again, so he deliberately asked, "Mr. Ito, that mysterious person is said to protect your daughter, so you should know him?" Takehiko shook his head and said regretfully, "I really want to know him, but unfortunately, that person is really too mysterious. I asked my daughter, but my daughter didn't know, otherwise, I really want to take him. For my own use. With such a powerful person by your side, you should never have to worry about safety anymore." Zin observed at Takehiko for a moment, feeling that he didn't seem to be lying. It seems that Takehiko does not know who the mysterious person is. But why would he save Nanako? Is it a pure chivalrous man of justice? However, it seems a bit strange for a Chinese to come to Japan as a hero. Or, he is an overseas Chinese living in Japan? Zin couldn't think of a reason, so he simply left it behind, looked at Takehiko, and said seriously, "Mr. Ito, I'm here this time. In fact, besides visiting you, I also want to talk to you about cooperation. Talk about a general intention."